from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they want to bring us down. They want to see us win. They want to kill us all. Oh Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. So can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. Can I live?
I'm never KKK. Land of the good, smoke so much space, and I'm trying to be great. Tell me, how can I live with this drama every day? I'm a light, I'm a beam in this darkness. It seems that real life is a nightmare. Not live my dreams on this earth since I was young. I realized I had a destiny bigger than the nation. That's the sky's what was best for me. Better than the hate and all the lies that lead to death of me. As a person, keeping hypnotized since elementary. Thought it was my sin to study something that was new to me. To hate because of what my ancient ancestors used to be. Killers, teachers, deities, not all of them kings and queens. Our nature was natural, not supernatural. Now they call it magic and voodoo. That shit ain't practical. All the rules connect. They always want to learn that you know. Don't let the shit go over your head. Same snakes in the garden, but the skin just shed. You'll always try to convince you that it's all in your head. No, you gotta do better before you hit your bed. I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down now. I wanna see us win. Trying to kill us all. Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hate is deeper than the color of our skin. Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Tell me, can I live? I know the hate is deeper than the color of our skin.
Yo.
Can I live?
They say my rhymes cause too much excitement. Ride incitement, shit, well, there's no indictments when my kinfolk get murdered by white men. Dark skin, light skin, divided and blinded. So we beef with each other, our brothers, rather than fight them. Fuck all that silence, it's time to get shit ignited. I ain't my way, little nigga. I ain't taking shit from no tars, and ain't no motherfucking nation got freedom from march and begging for pardon. Niggas ain't signing no parchments, big pain back. You crackers got red in your margins. Why? They broke every tree, loaded the buffalo, and then they set fire to teeth. They called their face of mountains, but we go to jail for graffiti. We fought for this country, they gave us syphilis. It's scheme, we been getting robbed. Yeah, the ones who stay behind bars, they take all our money, but they ain't want it. They give us no jobs, wasn't supposed to make it, but we stay defying the odds. It's like we really only living off the grace of our God. Can I live without getting harassed by the sergeant? Can I live without getting slammed in my car? Can I live long enough to raise my kids? Can I live long enough to see justice? Can I live without getting harassed by the sergeant? Can I live without getting slammed in my car? Can I live long enough to raise my kids? Can I live long enough to see justice? I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they want to bring us down. They want to see us win. They want to kill us all. Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. So can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. Can I live?
Okay, I've been in my Bible lately. You understand me? Like, shit crazy.
World said fuck us, so we said fuck the world.
You know,
The world said fuck us,
24/13.
so we said fuck the world.
Yeah, shit up to the
The
head.
world said fuck us,
Shall
so
we
we
say,
said fuck the world.
fuck the world.
The world don't love us,
No,
so we said fuck the world.
look, I know you can't hold on, but hold on. I know them lights ain't on, but hold on. Look, even if you feel you got nothing to hold on, I got a message. God said, hold on, hold on. On your sanity, I know you in a position with our lives. We're not addicted to gambling. You feel the pressure in the thoughts in your head scrambling. You feel the storm getting closer. You feel like giving up it goes. You even start and it's over. You feeling like fuck it. You going through too much to be sober. Life is passing you by. As you do this over and over, over and over, over and over, over and over, trying to make a change now. Instead of that, you fall a big into the same now. Starting to find out that this like a not game now. Back against the wall, couldn't run as the pole man screamed to the top of his lungs, said fuck us. So he said fuck the world. The world said fuck us. So he said fuck the world. The world said fuck us. So we say fuck the world. The world don't love us. So we say fuck the world. Look, cover your eyes, don't want to see the blood on the leaves. Bodies of eyes innocently hanging from trees. Floating screams, blood in the water, blood on the altar. Still don't believe justice is coming, heavenly Father. Did not Christ say vengeance is mine? Don't even bother. When he return, it's gonna be slaughtered. Oh, I know you don't want to face it, but what's real love sound like hatred, and you gotta be fucking crazy, and you think they gon' get away with killing all them babies, feeding them the alligators, all the women that was raped the transatlantic slave trade, made us feel the nation that we can't protect. Niggas go to prison, pipeline mass incarceration. All the lives that's been taken, hated to love it. You only talk about forgiveness because we never get justice. I think you really, really lucky. I remember him in the hood, niggas say all the shit he would've done if he was living during slavery. Look what's going on today, and you ain't doing the damn thing but putting shame on your ancestors' name. But who's to blame? All these drugs, pills, weed, beans, lean, cocaine. I get the feeling that we living in a big dope game. He said fuck us, so he said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so he said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so he said fuck the world. The world don't love us, so we said fuck the world.
Today, baby. I'm one West today, baby. I'm one West today, baby. I be one West to the death today, baby. One West today, baby. I'm one West today, baby. I'm one West today, baby. I be one West to the death today, baby. I be one West to the death today, baby. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul. A lot of Pharisees speaking heresy and get you fucked up. Apparently, it's like they daring me. I said, chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Get your heart, bring it back and start making living, get dividends. We start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Now that you're down. So what the fuck you trying to do? Rhyming comical. This is funny until I bomb you. Bring apocalypse to the pussy. Niggas stop your shit. Team of all stars. I coach them up like a Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and the politics. They for China, so we go check them like out of college. It's kind of obvious how the situation is ominous. The way your comments and regurgitate for the audience. All in this little competition is fraudulent from the arrow. When niggas smoke you up like a ball and make a flow brings food. Bitch, shit's got a retarded sense, all the dominance of one. What's rising and prominent, cause I be one West to the death. To the bury me. I'm one West to the bury me. I be one West to the death to the bury me. I'm one West to the bury me. I be one West to the death to the bury me. I'm one West to the bury me. I be one West to the death to the bury me. I'm one West to the bury me. Tell a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I rhyme like I'm a Uber, rhyme hard like the baby. I'm Medusa, 9 million Luger, 17 in the root, only need a few to sit up in your medulla. I'm a gotta put a regatta niggas one. I'll name on every dollar, they rhyme bomb like a dollar. Let the semi hollers, but show stop up in the top of the city pop, but now I'm going up patrolling premium. I put the stickers on the block, modify the chopper. It's more heavy, more ready, and it's working mama. Marijuana say I got the love inside of this. When I'm on the nigga rapping, do it like I'm doing a lot of cities. The writers moving the heat, so relatively get to the fuck. I around with me, and I had a nigga feel like a tire. And a deep, and I'm still focused on paper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a light up. I'm winning coming through the south because you, everyone went to the death today, baby. west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
Always up on my own, no need all in my zone. Spend so much time alone, while I ride trap on my chrome. Always up on my own, no need all in my zone. Spend so much time alone, while I ride trap on my chrome.
Nigga trying to eat. One of the police. Own family's stealing from me. I'm on from me to pray. When the white Jesus may say, me, you don't know where from me. You know what to say. So many niggas hate me. You don't know where from me.
Always up on my own, no need all in my zone. Spend so much time alone, while I ride trap on my chrome. Always up on my own, no need all in my zone. Spend so much time alone, while I ride trap on my chrome.
Always up on my own. Don't need you out of my zone. Spend so much time alone. I don't ride around my cone. Always up on my own. Don't need you out of my zone. Spend so much time alone. I don't ride around my I'm trying to keep it on the true side, nigga. Like, you know to play it cool now, nigga. Ass niggas on the team. I've been known to get your brain ever since I was 2'5". Nigga, cool hanging out the boot now, nigga. Cause like, I'm gonna put my whole team on so they ain't want me. When niggas doing bad, you know that they be hating on you. You hoping that you're proud, they be waiting on it. Bullshit, get bread from the envy. Best friends get the like enemy. When you got it, it's taking count empty. Recipe to pretty like jealousy. Took it from a bird's eye view. Run from everything I've been through. Too much. If the girl, you ain't spitting like you, nigga, never let him put a dick up in you. Cause if a nigga wrong, I'ma check that shit. If we can live along, never flex that shit. So what's up, we can get money, never take it to a bubble, flip it up and did the best that shit. Keep a lot of game, trying to bless my kid. Gotta keep it real, that's the best shit. Gotta hear it. Feel it like you texting. When I get on the track, yeah, wreck shit.
Always up on my own, no need all in my zone. Spend so much time alone, while I ride trap on my chrome. Always up on my own, no need all in my zone. Spend so much time alone, while I ride trap on my chrome.
Always up on my own, don't need you out of my zone. Spend so much time alone. I don't ride around with my cone. Always up on my own, don't need you out of my zone. Spend so much time alone. I don't ride around with my cone.
It's for the Lord. It's for the Lord. Pay your tithes when you get your money. 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 Melchizedek met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings. Abraham gave 10th of all his things. When the Christian rob God, that's a Christian robbing me. But you want to say, how does a Christian rob thee? Money. The pastor is robbing me. Money. The Christian pastor is robbing me. Bring me your tithes inside the storehouse, so it could be meat in every UPK house. ISUPK the stone, Commander YAHANNA, the pillar for the Lord's house. If you don't know the Bible, you won't understand what I'm talking about. And that right there might be bad for you. But listen, this is something he can do. Honor the Lord with substance. Give him your first fruits. Give him. Watch it come right back to you. And do it to the end this truth. Cause nobody is saved. And Christ come back to pass the lie about
you being saved just to get that stack. Evil ass pastor. That's what he's for, the money. You understand? Come on, let's get it. Pay your tithes when you get your money. Pay your tithes when you get your money. What? Pay your tithes when you get your money. Pay your tithes when you get your money. Money. Pay your tithes when you get your money. Money. Pay your tithes when you get your money. 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 Pay your tithes when you get your money.
They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put billions of my house. Should a murderer go to jail for murder? Should a thief go to jail when he's thief? Should a robber pay back the money? So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a thought.
A hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. This hustle was set in the road, that'll return. Let me tell my soul, the story I'm telling is gone. But that is what everyone knows. The women, the devil was known. America was never a home. Only a basic identity, safe facility, hey. He just faking me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. He just faking me, training my energy. 400 kids, they countless. The trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is around. They ready to tangle my king in the eggs, be ready. In the rap, cracking the sky, nuclear missiles, and make it official. I'm capturing every crack of the vibe. Put them all in chains, but they need the peace, they can be for me. And let the whole world see the way the the cases they go in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the brutal show, we get dog. Be a beast, as soon as the trumpets are sound. So can't we busting it down? The only way justice is found. The time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels, baby. That is a thought.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood cell. There won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch your body turn to fly. I clutch iron while you trust the lie. The next Glock I'm back gon' be different. I get it customized. And sending shots off like fairway. Praying payback come back around like the carousel. They remember YAHANNA's words. Ringing in my head like bells. Said you went in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the content. Triangle choke, apply press to the dagger. Got their bond there, payback some bitches. This dress, she a bomb, change the dish. Serve cold, I just hope they make it hot. Block fresh out the box, I swear. Got that new car smell, made myself a car. In the world of man shooters, there was this design path where I made it the best shooter. And the day if I can't train, I'll be over. Zealous, they want my jealous. I'm a brand new pair of fellas.
You'll see just how it feels, baby. That is a thought.
gotta pay no price. Somebody no cost. Just when we buy corners, we take the corners. Man, you won't buy one way or another. Whether it's the bodies we don't lost, we're gonna lose time and enjoyment. It's behind us or ahead of us. I mean, you're gonna get some shit in this game, and this shit for free. How much money? I need to spend, and if we ain't gonna be around to spend what we done made already. I think I can be along this long. Yeah. Well, yeah.
I know when nigga murdered his own man, 'cause he was fucking on his bitch. He got booked, now she's sick. She had sucking all these. Told my young boy to chill, 'cause he was hitting all these licks. Now he's resisting. Every 6 feet, he was thinking with his dick. The hardy young man, I'm dropping gems. They call me old school. People fed on the ground, and who you shot? And who you going to shoot? 600 pages. Nigga, what you going to do? Up top with them. Life is you don't fight, all you do is shoot. Yo, them crackers mad as hell because they want to see us dead. Plotting all the miles, holding counsel just to stay ahead. This one was just forever. We gon' pay donations great. If you not under this banner, then you all this red. And I'm from the trenches, they ain't know it show us love. All we know is the stitches in the way of the slug. We done made a move on you and we don't care who it was. On the gram, I saw my youngest send a nigga up above. You the dog. Me and the squad was fatigue, how we run shit. Better yet, that's all block. Better yet, that's all straight. My general said, if it's not one Western, it's not legit. Fuck every cracker. Go to the grave and go and take.
Just clap it up for the Most High. Just clap it up for Yahawashi Mashiach, we ignorantly call Christ. Let's clap it up for Commanding General YAHANNA, all the generals, all the captains, all the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. With the ISUPK coming out of 1 West Harlem, New York, 125th Street, under Commanding General YAHANNA. And since 1969, we've been bringing out the truth that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true children of the Bible. I'm your priest and officer, Yash Allah, bringing the law class to you today. You know what I'm saying? And the water for the sister faithfully being in the building. Yahweh Shema them by Shem Yahweh Shah to the sister. You know what I mean? And to the Akim, if y'all watching and tuning in but ain't signing in, Shalom Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatah. You understand? If you got any questions, sis, let me know. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get started. Today's the law class, right? Now, as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you know, being in this society, in today's society, in this world that we're living in, we don't follow the laws. We don't keep the laws. We please our flesh. We do what the hell we want to do because we think we've grown and we got a right to. Wrong. We have to understand that these bodies that we have are borrowed. The time that we're on is borrowed, and we are to obey the Most High by following and keeping His laws, statutes, and commandments. Or we're going to continue filling the fire and filling the sting of these punishments that He's bestowed upon us for disobeying Him, for not keeping His laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? Why do you think we're poverty-ridden? Why do you think we're all strung out on drugs? Why do you think we face these harsh conditions that we're living in today? You know, it's not drawn up by design or by coincidence that we're dealing with such atrocities. Why do you think our young black brothers and Hispanic brothers is getting unalived at alarming rates? Not by just police, but by other oppressors and one another. And when is the madness going to stop? You know when? I'm going to tell you when. The moment we decide to start keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Bible, that's when it's going to begin to stop. And in the book of Zephaniah 2 verse 1, it says, gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are the nation that's not desired. We are the have-nots. We are the ones that get shunned. We're the ones that get kidnapped and put in the sex trafficking and child trafficking and so on and so forth. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are the ones that get punished. We are the ones that get oppressed. In the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 7, it says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. Don't you think oppression got us angry at this point? And if you're not angry, something wrong with you. You need to check yourself. You understand? The scripture says, surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. You know what that gift is? Christmas, which is right around the corner. You understand? We just got finished getting past that nasty ass Thanksgiving holiday as they want to celebrate the death and destruction of our native Indian brothers and sisters and children. You understand? Because that's what Thanksgiving stands for. It don't stand for coming together as a family and eating turkey and nasty ass cranberry sauce. No, not at all. It's about the mass genocide of our own people, and we suck it right up, and we follow it, and we live it, and we're disgusting for it, and it needs to stop. We as Black, Hispanics, and Indians, we need to wake the hell up, tighten the hell up, and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Period. It's disgusting. You know, us being in the world and not knowing no better, I understand, because that was once me. But once you see this and know this, you can't unsee it. So how dare you to see it and not hearken to it? In the book of Deuteronomy, the 27th and 28th chapter, it says, hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Observe and do all his commandments. Not some, not half, but all his commandments that he commands thee this day. And if not, these curses shall come upon you and overtake you. You understand, Israel? We, as the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, got to wake the hell up and understand that we're in the latter days. Our end is near. Our time has come. We've been given a grace period. We don't know how long that grace period is. So who in the hell are we to take advantage of a time frame that we don't know how much time we got? Time is something we all have, but not enough of. You understand? Time is the one thing you can't beat. Time is the one thing you can't overcome. Time is the one thing you can't take advantage of. You can manage it, but you can only manage it if you're doing something positive to manage it, like keeping the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments. That is the only way you can manage time, because by keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments, you're currently buying time. You're allowing the grace period to extend just a little longer, because the Lord has given us a reprieve and a chance to see if he can get more of his children to wake up like we woke up. You understand what I'm saying? It's one thing if you acknowledge that you're an Israelite, right? But it's another thing when you go to these so-called branch off schools instead of just coming into the ISUPK under command of General YAHANNA. You know, it's sad. People want to put on purple and gold and march with the IUIC that produces no results. They got all our brothers and sisters over there, but produce no results. They don't produce no brotherhood, no unity. They talk about the scriptures, but yet they want to set white man rules in their own community, which is ass backwards. Period. They don't keep the law. They don't follow the law. They want to keep the laws that fit them, that make them feel good, that they feel that they can keep with no problem. But the other ones, nah. Because some of them can't give up that pork, that shrimp, that crab, that lobster. Some of them can't give up white women. Some of them can't give up that weed, the cigarettes, the black mouth, the vapes. It's always something about the law that Sakari don't agree with, GMS don't agree with, HOI don't agree with, IYC don't agree with. There's always something in the law that one of them do not agree with. That's why they're scared little bitches and don't want to come into the ISUPK under command of General YAHANNA, because they're not ready to be militant. They're not ready to be soldiers. They're not ready to live these laws, statutes, and commandments. They're not about that action, period. That's why they stay where the hell they at. Cool. Don't stay over there where they at then. We good over here. We deal with subtraction anyway, because that's how the Most High operate. We love what the Lord love and hate what the Lord hate. Y'all want to eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster? Go ahead. Go be a wicked, disgusting bastard. Go eat that pork chop. Go eat them crab legs. Go eat that seafood boil, you nasty bastard. But don't sit there and say you love the Lord. Because in Matthew the 18th chapter, it says if you love Salakia. If I'm not fat, let me go pull it up. I'm trying to make sure. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the 24th chapter in the book of Matthew. Because it says if you love God but hate your brother, you are a liar. You understand what I'm saying? If a man say he loved God but hate his brother, he is a liar. Because how can he love the Lord whom he have not seen and hate his brother whom he have seen? That's why we, as Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, living in this world that we're living in, have to stop living the lie. Okay, that's Wars, Rumors, and Wars. So I think it was the 18th chapter. Like, give me 1 second. Oh, brother, trespass. See, that's trespassing. All right, I don't want to take up too much time. I'll get back to it. Right? Basically, all you have to do is just keep the law, statutes, and commandments that the Lord put forth. You understand? And the law, and the laws, and the work of the Lord is not grievous. The work of the Most High is not grievous at all. All he said is fear Him, which you should do, because the Lord is the only one that can destroy the flesh and the spirit all in one shot. He might put you on a wait list, and you might never come back. Because you got to remember, we look at time differently than the Most High. A day to the Most High is 1,000 years. 1,000 years to us is 10 generations. If we live to see the year of 100. You understand what I'm saying? This is why it's crucial that as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we follow and keep and adhere to these laws, statutes, and commandments. Because without that, we are lost, Israel. We are simply lost. Let me give you another precept. Salakia. The book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 17. And it is easier for heaven and earth to pass than one tittle of the law to fall. Meaning, it's easier to watch heaven and earth just fall asunder, just fall apart, and come down like a ton of bricks, than for one piece of the law to fall. Meaning, I'd rather watch heaven and earth fall apart than to watch my wife eat that pork chop. It's easier for heaven and earth to pass than to watch my brother unalive somebody unrighteously. You understand? Whether if it's a brother in the truth or a brother in the world, I'd rather watch heaven and earth fall than to watch him unalive somebody that looks like us, somebody that's one of us, over disagreement. I've grown up in the world and watched one too many of my own brothers and sisters in this world get unalived or unalive somebody over something petty and minuscule. You understand? Being in the world, all right, I understand. We don't know no better. We don't know the Lord. We don't know who we are. We don't know we're Israelites. Granted, got it. Cool. But now that I'm in this truth, I'm going to make sure you get it. I'm going to make sure you know. You understand? Because that's my job as a priest, to be a fisher of men. That's why I'm in here holding the jersey down right now. You understand? By myself if I got to. And I'm going to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. And I'm going to keep pushing this law. And I'm going to keep trying to fish in brothers and sisters. Because that's my job. That's my duty. That's what I do. You understand? I pray you understand, Israel. And that's what Luke 16 and 17 means. You understand? I'll stand 10 toes down on every single one of these laws, statutes, and commandments. And I'd rather watch heaven and earth to fall before I let one tittle of the Lord fall. You understand? I'd rather watch this whole earth pass. I'd rather watch this whole earth pass me by than to break one single law. You understand? I pray you do, Israel. It's the book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 12. Wherefore the law is holy. Holy meaning separate. And the commandments holy meaning separate. And just and good, meaning the laws and commandments that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians follow are holy, meaning separate from the heathens. Our laws and commandments are separate from the laws and commandments of America. Our laws and commandments is separate from the laws and commandments of the world than the U.S. Constitution. You understand? We have our own laws under the laws of the Most High and Yahweh Shah Mashiach, we ignorantly call Christ. That's what we follow. We follow, as Commander General YAHANNA will say, we follow our nigga God. You understand? That's who we follow. Who white people follow, East Indians, Japanese, Korean, all of them. Who they follow is who they follow. That's their business. Whoever Allah, whoever they feel Allah is, that's who Arabs follow. That's their God. Their God is a rock. And they bang their head on it 30 times a day to get their daily concussion and enlightenment of life. That's what they do. You understand? East Indians, they worship Dionysus and Shiva and 600 and some odd other gods of their culture, because that's what they believe in. Chinese people, they follow Buddha or Buddhism. You understand? All these heathen nations follow their own heathen customs, which is why it says in the Bible for us to not follow the way of the heathen. Do not learn the way of the heathen. You understand? Don't celebrate Christmas, for it is a heathen custom. Don't celebrate Thanksgiving, Halloween, Easter, what else? St. Patrick's Day, Memorial Day, MLK Day, 4th of July. None of that stuff. It is all heathen holidays. Do not learn the way of the heathen, and do not be dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. You understand? I pray you do, Israel. Any questions in the chat? All right, no sweat, no sweat. Next precept. It's the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 1, verse 8. But we know that the law is good if a man use it lawfully, meaning Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know the law is good when you see the fruits of your labor, right? When you do the work of the Lord, you reap the rewards in the service of the Most High. You reap the benefits of what it means to do the work of the Lord. You get a self-gratification just by knowing you putting a brick in the first place. You understand? It's self-gratifying for me to do this. I feel great getting up and preparing to teach a class. Because there was one point where I used to sit there and be high and hide my lighters outside of the school because you can't bring it in, can't bring no paraphernalia in with you. You understand? And I used to be sitting there high, feeling ashamed and embarrassed because I don't want to disappoint the Lord. You understand? And all they keep telling you is keep coming in, brother. Just keep coming in. The medicine is here. And I believe that to be true. There's a lot of people in my life right now that's hurting. There's certain people in my life right now that's suffering, long suffering. You understand? Drug addiction, alcohol addiction, very bad drinking. You understand what I'm saying? And I wish that some of those people would be watching my class, because maybe if they would get out their own way, stop being so goddamn stubborn, maybe they could make the proper steps forward to healing properly and getting through whatever the hell it is that they're going through, rather than trying to cope and swallow bottles of alcohol or pop pills or smoke weed to escape reality, and instead of just face reality head on. You understand? I pray and wish one day that happens. Because see, I'm the type of priest, I'm not going to wish no bad upon nobody, especially my own people. Even if they was a heathen, I'm still not going to wish nothing bad upon them. Hey, you know what? May the Lord be with you. And I genuinely mean that. May the Lord be with you. May you be in the Lord's favor. For those that suffering and going through it and not even hearing my class, I still pray, may the Lord be with you. You understand? And I pray that you be in the Lord's favor. Because maybe through me, you might be blessed enough for the Lord to open your eyes, and I pray you see it. You understand? For those that's watching, like, you know who you are. I pray you get it one day. You understand? If a man use it lawfully, meaning if a man is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, it shows. Because a man will show thy works. And it'll definitely show. If he's bringing people in to the online class, if people are starting to come into the physical class and watch class, sisters are starting to come around now, covering their heads up and being modest and being quiet. You understand? While they sit back and learn. It's a glorious thing to become a servant of the Lord. It is a glorious thing to serve the Lord and do the work of the Lord, because in return you get the service of the Lord. It says it in the scriptures. By serving him, you get his service. So be a good servant and provide great servitude, and you will get the mercy and the grace and the service of the Most High in return. And that's far better than any amount of money. That's far greater than any dollar amount. I don't care how rich you is. You're not rich enough to be better and bigger than the Most High. You're not better and richer and big enough to be over a man or a woman, or you understand what I'm saying? Whether if you're a man that's got the money or a woman that's got the money, you're no better than the brother or the sister that's homeless out here in the rain, eating out of garbage cans, scratching to survive. You understand? Being out in the cold, in these harsh conditions. I pray you understand. I got some precepts. I mean, I got some articles I like to bring out too. You know what I'm saying? Lord allow, we'll be able to get to it. It's the book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men. As a matter of fact, let me go to my book. Let me pull that up. Because I want to go a verse up. Okay, here we go. Let me go up one. No, let me go up two. As a matter of fact, Jesus, this whole damn chapter is lit. Sugar honey iced tea. All right, let me start from verse 22. It's the book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 22. But when the officers came and found them not in the prison, they returned and told, saying, the prison truly found we shut with all safety, and the keepers standing without before the doors. But when we had opened, we found no men within. Verse 24. Now when the high priest and the captain of the temple and the chief priests heard these things, they doubted of them whereunto this would grow. Verse 25. Then came one and told them, saying, behold, the men whom ye put in prison are standing in the temple and teaching the people. Verse 26. Then came the captain with the officers and brought them without violence, for they feared the people, lest they should have been stoned. Lest they should have been stoned. Verse 27. And when they brought them, they set them before the council, and the high priest asked them, verse 28, saying, Did not we straitly command you that ye should not teach in his name? And behold, ye have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine, and intend to bring this man's blood upon us. Verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than man. Now, I went up ahead to give you context, right? Peter and the apostles was at the temple and they was trying to imprison Peter and the other apostles for teaching the word of the Most High, because they wasn't sure if they were teaching the actual doctrine or not. So they were trying to imprison the brothers and without violence, because they needed to make sure rather than be sure. But Peter and the other apostles explained to them, saying, we rather follow the orders of God rather than man, meaning I'd rather keep serving the Most High and keeping his law, statutes, and commandments and preaching the word and spreading it so we can raise the dead and bring people up out of the world and into the truth, rather than listen to what you're trying to say, because you're trying to tell me to stop doing the will of my Father and the work of my Lord. And I'd rather deal with whatever punishment y'all trying to dish out before disobeying my Father, before disobeying my Lord. You understand? And in a nutshell, as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, if we do not wake up and really start coming together to not just fear God, but to keep his law, statutes, and commandments, then you understand that all that we do in the world, it means nothing. Nothing, no amount of success, there's no amount of fame, there's no amount of coming up in the world can equate to completing a task that the Lord set upon you. It could be as something simple as go getting a glass of water for an elderly person. It could be as so simple as teaching a class, cleaning a bathroom in the school, taking out the garbage. It could be something very simple, something so minuscule, but for what you might think is something small, it might be great and big to the Most High. Because remember, we were once wicked, disgusting bastards in the world. We were hustlers, robbers, killers, thieves, whatever you want to call it. We were the have-nots. We were the black sheep. We were the dirty birds. So for us to turn our life around and to be humble enough to wash a brother's feet, whether biblically or literal, meaning washing a brother's feet by giving him the Lord's statutes and commandments and waking him up from being dead by living in the world and not living in the truth. You understand? That's what that means. And one day, I believe that as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we can potentially make that happen. We could potentially make that happen. We truly can. Slovakia. Let me pull up this my first article. Sure, bear with me. When I found out about this article, I was heartbroken. It was really sad because this happened in my city, and I know about somebody. I might not know these people directly, but I know of these people and what happened. Slovakia, if I may. Bear with me, Israel. 6 killed, including 2 high school coaches, and fiery New Jersey car crash. Community is devastated. Now, to give you context, I don't know all the in and outs of the story, but from what I was told, a car drove off of Pulaski Skyway. Now, Pulaski Skyway is like a really tall type of bridge, type of road, type of highway that takes you to Route 78, takes you to 1 and 9 South. It takes you to Route 22, things of that nature out here in Jersey, right? It takes you to different highways. You can go to Newark, so on and so forth, Elizabeth, Linden, whatever. And the car drove off Pulaski Skyway. And as those people are in that car, you would think in that moment where you plummet to your death that you would be praying. But in this situation, all you can do is scream because it's sudden. You understand? This is really a sad story. and the car went over the Pulaski Skyway and exploded upon impact. So they couldn't even not really identify the people in the car. That's what makes this story so sad and heartbreaking, because I don't wish death upon none of my people, even if they done wrong. But for them to die like that, it's very heartbreaking.
A beloved high school football coach and his brother among 6 people killed in a horrific Newark car crash. Police say the vehicle flew off an overpass and then burst into flames. Christina Fon spoke with the victim's mother, who learned of the tragedy after driving to the scene herself.
I have 8 little ones, 17 and under, in my home that I have to care for. So I have to be strong.
Natasha McKnight putting on a brave face for her 8 remaining children, despite the fact her whole world came crashing down. On her Jersey City blog, a continuous stream of mourners grieving the news her 2 oldest sons, Daryl and Lamar, died in a car crash Friday night.
Until I found out exactly what happened, I'm not sure I want to. I just want to bury my kids. I just want to put my kids where they need to be.
Investigators are still determining what caused the fiery crash that killed 6 people off Raymond Boulevard in Newark. Police say the car was on the 1 and 9 southbound on-ramp when it became airborne and struck a support column for the Pulaski Skyway before landing on the ground. The vehicle then burst into flames, killing everyone inside. Natasha says it wasn't police, but rather a mother's intuition that alerted her something was wrong.
I check my kids' location all day, all night, every day, and those 2 never turn them off. So when I noticed that, I looked up one of them, and the other one's phone was right next to it. I knew something. It was there for too many hours. So I started to worry. I drove to and found out on social media that it was an accident, and you see my son's bumper, and that's how I was able to identify that they were in that car.
McKnight says her 2 sons, who were 33 and 32 years old, brought laughter everywhere they went and served as role models for the neighborhood they grew up in. Daryl most recently started working for the state, while Lamar coached football, first for Union City and then for Hudson Catholic.
It just had a first season. I made it 1 game short of the championship. So definitely was those are my heart, those are my everything.
And the reason why she is staying strong.
I want them to remember as anybody that they had inspired to continue to do what they're doing in school, go to college, play ball like they love. One play basketball, one play football. So there's a lot of kids out here they mentor, and I need them to continue. Everyone out here, any children that's out here under that, to continue
living and carrying on her children's legacy. From Jersey City, Christina Fan, CBS News.
Yeah, that story touched me right there. Let me tell you something, because them young brothers had a bright future ahead of them. You understand? But the one thing that entire family is missing is the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And that's one of the main reasons why I brought this article out. It's a sad story, right? And it's sad to talk, and it hurts to talk about it, but at the same time, this is why I'm in the position I'm in, because we have to have these difficult discussions. We have to have these difficult times, and we have to make sure that we let our people know that all this could potentially happen because we don't keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Even though those brothers look like they lived a decent life and had a bright future ahead of them, that doesn't exclude the fact that they were not keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You understand? Being in the Christian church don't count, because the Christianity failed our people. What is Christianity doing for those young brothers? Nothing. What is Christianity doing for any of our people? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Except making our brothers and our sisters poor wasted skin without a purpose. That's what Christianity is doing for my people. Going to church, lining the pastor's pockets so he could get a new 2025 Bucktooth, which is a BMW, does not help our people. Okay, they give away some pork chop dinners every other couple months. Whoop de effing do. What are they doing for the homeless people out here? Are they creating barracks that house the homeless? What are these so-called pastors doing? Are they doing food programs? Are they doing prison programs? Are they trying to help get brothers out of prison and reacclimated into today's society, being that we have to deal with regentrification? So all these brothers that's from Jersey City, born and raised, that's locked up right now doing bids, and then they come home to nothing because their grandparents done lost their house and then got moved up out of here because these Khazars, Ashkenazis, which are white people, but they portray to be Jewish, because they can't say they're the real Jews because we're the real Jews of the Bible. You understand? We are the Jews of antiquity. They are synagogues of Satan. People want to debate about it. There's nothing to debate about. It is what it is. White people have to learn and accept the facts and the truth. Y'all enslaved us. The Lord hates you, and so do we. Case closed. But we're not going to do y'all how y'all did us. No, no, no. We got far better plans for y'all. In the next kingdom, when Yahweh shall come down with those 200 million angels and put that work in on y'all and give y'all that act right, y'all going to get it then. I promise y'all going to get it then. That's when y'all going to be sitting, when that time comes, that's when y'all going to be sitting there begging for forgiveness, begging for our mercy. No, 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 no. This is why we give y'all opportunities now when we're in camp in this life to kiss our boots and acknowledge who we are and pay homage to commanding General YAHANNA. You understand? This is why we giving y'all an opportunity now in this kingdom. Because if y'all don't take advantage of the opportunity, then, hey, again, may the Lord be with you, which I know he's not, but sounds good to say. May the Lord be with you. I wish you well in all your endeavors. You understand? Let's see, got this other article queued up. I'll give you another precept. It's the book of John, chapter 1, verse 17. For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Jesus Christ. Yahweh Mashiach in the Hebrew. The laws was given by Moses, but grace and truth came from Yahweh Shah. Meaning, Christ been here before. The spirit of Christ was with Moses during that time. You understand? He brought the laws. He brought the laws into fruition for us. He had them. He had the Most High write them down for us, so we can keep track of these records, keep track of this tradition of our culture, and learn it, live it, love it, and do it. You understand, Israel? But grace and truth came from the Most High, because the Most High was, Salakia by Yahweh Shah, Mashiach, who we ignorantly call Christ, because the Most High was going to take us out. Christ sacrificed himself to give us time to wake up, gather together, and not just read the Bible, but study the Bible and do the things that's in the Bible. Do the law, statutes, and commandments, and live the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? That's what this is all about. We have to shed ourselves of the worldly version of ourselves, go through that fire of pain and torment of letting yourself go so you can get broken down and rebuilt up into the man and woman that you're supposed to be under the laws of God. Well, if you become a princess in the school or if you become a priest in the Lord's army. Because you got some people that's in Israel that's just happy to be an Israelite, do what they can when they can. And then you got brothers that's priests and prophets, and they putting work in, and they putting that brick in. You understand? We outside all the time. We do food drives, clothing drives. You understand? We out here, no matter rain, sleet, hail, snow. We out here. We're helping blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We helping them get off that ground. We helping them get out those garbage cans. We trying our hardest to working and striving to get them off the streets. But at the same time, you gotta want that hope. You gotta want to get out the street. You gotta want to be able to put the drugs down. You gotta be able and willing to put the alcohol down so you can get clean. I'm patient. I'm here for you. I'm here. Monday through Sunday, I'm here. Monday through Friday, I'm teaching class. Saturday, Sunday, I'm either at camp, Lord allow it, or I'm on the computer pushing content for the school. You understand? But I'm doing some type of work. Weather's too bad right now, no sweat. We can do the food and clothing drive when the weather clears up. You understand? You have to put in work if you want the mercy, grace, and servitude of the Lord. That's the only way you'll get it. The only way. And I pray you understand, Israel. Let me give you some more. It's the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. Meaning, let every soul be subject to the Most High. Let the Most High have access to that spirit. Give your soul up to the Most High. Don't so-called give it up to the Illuminati. They not that's vain. That's vain. That's vain glory. That's vain success. That's vain progress. You don't need it. You need this. You need to get this. The law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. There's no other power other than the Most High. There's no power greater than the Most High. And if y'all don't know that by now, then y'all just walking dead. Y'all sleepwalking. Y'all walking with blinders on. Y'all give yourselves false belief. So y'all open to false teachings and false prophecies. You understand? Y'all keep listening to Nasty Nate. Y'all gonna learn. Or any of them zesty niggas. The powers that be are ordained of God. Meaning, if there's priests and prophets in place doing the work of the Lord, it's because they were ordained by the Lord. There's no such thing as elections. You was not elected. You are ordained by the Lord. The Lord would choose you to lead. You understand? Or the Lord will choose you to follow. Either way, you will be ordained by the Lord. Period. That's how that goes. Let me cue up this article. Salakia. Bear with me a moment, Israel. New Jersey man found guilty in repeated sexual assault of a child. Now, this is the nonsense that grinds my gears because Salakia. Because it makes no sense for mofos to be this goddamn nasty. Sitting there repeatedly sexually assaulting a child. Like, come on. Why are you trying to destroy that child's innocence? What is wrong with you? Like, seriously, what is wrong with you? The verdict found Murcielago Flores guilty of 3 counts of aggravated sexual assault, 2 counts of sexual assault, and 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child. The abuse was reported September 16, 2023. Following an investigation into the matter, detectives accused Murcielago Flores of sexually assaulting a child multiple times at the home in Morristown between February and September of 2023. Another child was also in the room during one of the assaults, authorities said. Prosecutors have not disclosed the age of the 2 children. Masarigo Flores' sentence will be subject to the Jessica Lunsford Act, making him ineligible for parole until he serves 25 years, and No Early Release Act, which will require him to serve 85% of his sentence before he is eligible for parole. His sentencing is scheduled for February 21st, 2015. Most outstanding. Outstanding. Now, it's rather unfortunate. Slocky. It's rather unfortunate that it had to be a Hispanic brother that was doing the sexual assault. You understand? So he's not mentally healthy. Something's wrong with him. He has a really bad demon on him. You understand? But even he still deserves a chance to come into the truth and turn his life around and give it to the Most High. Because maybe the Most High will grant him a small mercy for his indiscretions. Because that he's done. He's done up. He's down. He's got to do 25 years before he's eligible for parole under the Lunsford Act. And then under the No Release Act, he's got to do 85% of that 25 years regardless. So he's got to do at least 23, 24 years before he can be eligible for parole. But knowing how the white man is the damn devil that the Bible speaks of, they'll find a loophole to keep him in there another 25 years and not give him an opportunity to show that he's been rehabilitated and get him reacclimated into the world. Lord knows he might not even survive his 25-year stint or whatever they sentence him with. He might not survive the time he has to serve once he's in there, because one thing about prison, they don't condone certain things. Sexual assault on women or minors, pedophilia, stuff like that. They do not condone that nonsense in prison. They're going to do to him whatever he did to that child. I promise you. I guarantee you. I give him 6 months to a year of his first year or whatever his sentence is. I guarantee somebody going to get to him. You know what I'm saying? Hell, it might be, you never know, it might be Diddy. You might put that prison oil on him since he ain't got no more Johnson Johnson. You understand? But all this stems from not keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. This is why people like Flores is lost, sexually assaulting children. This is why niggas like Diddy is lost. And he's being locked up and he's being punished for it. Now, whatever he ends up getting charged with, the question of the matter is, will he serve the time that he deserves for the crimes he committed? Because I see Jay-Z's next. They coming for Jay too. They got away with the BS for a long time. Hov got away with it for a long time. Foxy Brown, Aaliyah, Rihanna, Lord knows how many others, Beyonce, Lord knows how many others that were underage at the time that he done had in his grasp. Lord knows. Because you got a lot of people in the entertainment industry that disappeared. Like Take Free from 106 and Park. She ain't retired from doing TV. She loved doing 106 and Park. She loved working on BET. Just because she had a kid don't mean she was going to stop working, doing something she loved. But she got that check. Somebody gave her that bag and it was like, yo, fade to black. You know what I'm saying? Fade to black. I'm saying it repeatedly for a reason. You know who said that. You know who had that album. You know what I mean? Fade to black. Yeah, take this $1 million. Take this 1.5. You retire from TV. You ain't got to work again. Know what I'm saying? Like that's how the game works. That's how the industry works. Similar to that 50 Cent song. You said you write a check before the baby come, who the hell cares? You know what I'm saying? But all this comes from, it stems from not keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. No matter how you cut and slice it, all this stems from not keeping the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments. And in today's time, we're facing the harshest of judgments. And always remember, no matter how bad it is, it could always be worse. COVID-19, monkeypox, syphilis remix, gonorrhea remix, chlamydia remix. Shit, hell, they remixing all the diseases. These remixes you ain't getting rid of. That's the sad part. That's why when it comes to being in the world, you have to understand, one, sex is marriage. Don't keep believing what white people have been saying for the last 40, 50, 60 years, and we've been swallowing it up like gummy bears, just soaking it up. You know what I'm saying? It's lawful to have, for a man to have more than one wife. Look at it like this. If a man has three wives and they all get pregnant, who is the father? He is. If you got three wives and just one of them out of the three gets pregnant by another man, whose baby is that? Now it's a bunch of question marks. You got to wait till the baby come and see. And in that time, it destroys the Black and Hispanic household. And it destroys the structure of and order of the house. Because it causes chaos. It causes confusion. It causes division. And that's something that we do not need to have as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Here's another precept. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect. Meaning these law, statutes, and commandments are perfect. There is no confliction in them. There's no contradiction in them. There's no question in them. These laws were set in place for a reason. And every little nook and cranny of this earth and the land that we live in falls under these laws, statutes, and commandments. So there's nothing new under the sun and nothing new that we can present or to try to get over what the Bible clearly states. You understand? Whether we're speaking in our native tongue, which is the Hebrew, whether we're speaking in plain English, whether we're speaking in Spanish or whatever the case may be, there's nothing that we can do or say that takes away from what the Bible says. Period. What's in the King James 1611 is concrete. You understand? Whatever's in the Bible is concrete. There's no taking something out of the Bible and twisting it around and make your own narrative and say, now this is what it is. No. If the Lord said, don't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, don't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. If the Lord statutes and commandments say, if you say you love God but hate your brother, you're a liar. And you a lying ass for the pit of hell. Period. If the law, statutes, and commandments say, I suffer not a woman to teach in the church, but for her to keep silence and under obedience, thus saith the law, then the sister is to be quiet and learn. She can speak, she can ask questions, but she is to remain under obedience. Obey the priest as you would obey the Lord God himself. Slakia. Slakia. 1 second, Israel. One second, Israel. Slakia. So, yeah, no sweat. Okay, no sweat. Done. All right. The book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, meaning the law, statutes, and commandments that have been set forth for us is perfect. There's no mistake in it. All we need to do is to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, right? And be fishers of men. You understand? And like I say in the book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 3, the aged woman likewise, teach the younger, teach the youth. You understand? Teach these young sisters how to sew. Teach them how to cook a meal. Teach them how to be proper wives to their husbands. Teach them how to be proper moms to their children. Teach them how to love their self more. Teach them how to love their husband and their children more. Teach them how to love their brothers and their sisters more. You understand? And teach them these law, statutes, and commandments so they can teach their children these law, statutes, and commandments. That's what I'm saying to women, because women get it misconstrued when I hit them with a precept or teach them that, there was no women that ran with Christ and the disciples, period. Not at one point in the Bible can a woman bring to me and say, look, a woman ran with Christ. No. But not saying that a woman doesn't have an important role in life and society. She does. It's a role that women in today's society don't want to portray or play because of feminism, but it is a role that's fit for a sister and a sister only, to be that rock in that household, to hold that household down, to make sure that rent's paid on time, because the husband is going to go make the money and leave it with you to handle the bills and responsibilities. You understand? That's the job. The husband goes out, puts that work in, breaks his back, brings home the money. Henceforth, the wife will turn around, pay the bills, handle the responsibilities, gather the groceries, get whatever's needed for the house, make sure the children is kept taken care of, make sure they're properly groomed and schooled, and make sure all their homework is done as well. Fed and in the bed by sundown. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't mean no harm and no disrespect to the sisters if I sit there and say, you have to be silenced in the churches. You're not permitted to, for you, you're not permitted to speak. I suffer not a woman to teach. That's no disrespect and no slight on a sister. That's just telling you what the law states. I'm just telling you what the law tells me. I'm telling you what the Bible is telling me. That's just a hard pill for a sister to swallow, period. Because they used to doing what they want to do, saying what they want to say, going where they want to go, being who they want to be. You understand? When it don't work like that. If you in this ISUPK, you are a daughter of Zion. You understand? You are family. Same thing goes for the brothers. You can't just go out into the world to be a fisher of men if you're not willing to sit your ass in them classes and learn how to become a fisher of men. Because in order to be a fisher of men, you have to know your law, statutes, and commandments, and not just know them. You have to study them. You have to keep them. You have to follow them in order to be a fisher of men. Period. That's non-negotiable. You have to. And there's levels to this. Just because you at the ground floor, you came from the basement, you at the ground floor now. I don't think you got to the ground floor, you some high and mighty priest. And because look, we're not allowed to lose. We're trained to make sure, we're trained to win, we're trained to dominate. So don't learn a couple of precepts and say you know the Bible all of a sudden and try to go out there and battle somebody and get your ass chewed the hell up. Because your camp leader and your captain ain't trying to hear that. I promise you they're not. So instead of running back and forth, playing like you know everything, stay humble, stay focused. It's like my throat dropped. Stay humble, stay focused, and continue learning these law, statutes, and commandments and get more rooted in this truth and become more solid. You understand? To where it's effortless when you teach. It's effortless when you in camp. Just make it as effortless as possible for yourself and for others, because you got men that's going to be under you that's looking up to you. and they come to look towards you for strength and guidance. You understand? So we have to learn to be more mindful when we're in this truth. We have to be more mindful and considerate for not just one another, not just for each other, but for other brothers and sisters that's, you know, out there in the world and don't know no better. So we have to not only set the example, but we have to set the bar as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. I pray y'all understand. Let me finish this precept. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 7. The Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. Meaning, converting your soul from the world to the truth, right? Your testimony is you talking to your camp leader as you're shedding yourself to the world, telling your camp leader your problems. He's guiding you into the solutions to your problems as long as you're staying in class, as long as you're paying your tithes, as long as you're paying your camp fund, you know what I mean, your building fund. Like, cause that's what we do. We don't exploit our people for profit like your Christian pastors do, or your Baptist pastors, or whatever you want to call it. We don't exploit our own people for the sake of a dollar. We don't exploit our temple for a dollar whatsoever either. You understand? Slovakia. My brain started going off thinking about other stuff. I almost lost track. My bad, Israel. Oh man, because it's such a glorious topic. You understand? When it comes to these laws, statutes, and commandments, it's such a glorious thing. Let me get to the next article because I'm running out of time. Right? Slovakia. Here we go. New Jersey man sentenced to life. What happened? Here we go. All right, here we go. New Jersey man sentenced to life for murder. A girlfriend he stabbed 29 times. Good God. I've heard of being upset at your. I've heard of being upset at your woman, your wife, or whatever. You understand? But to have stabbed her 29 times, you have to be as you have to have such a wicked demon on you to the point where you in a mindset of almost nothingness, like you're in a void, almost like a vegetative mindset. Because for you to have stabbed her more than 3 times is one thing, but for you to have stabbed her over a dozen times is another. For you to stab her over 24 times, it behooves me to try to fathom where your sick, twisted, demented mind was at to stab your girlfriend 29 times. A Berkeley County man convicted of brutally murdering his girlfriend 3 years ago was sentenced last week to spend the rest of his life in prison, authorities said Wednesday. Patrick J. Camilli, formerly of Washington Township, was sentenced Friday in Superior Court in Bergen County following his conviction in October for the killing of 51-year-old Mary E. Hubbard. Camilli, 59, guilty of murder and weapon offenses after a 4-week trial presided over Judge James X. Sadley. The killing occurred in the early hours of October 24th, 2021, when Washington Township Police responded to 911 call reporting an incident at a private residence. Officers found Camilli lying on the floor atop Hubbard with a knife nearby. Hubbard, who had suffered multiple stab wounds and blunt force injuries, was taken to Valley Hospital in Ridgewood, where she was pronounced dead. Camilli, who had self-inflicted stab wounds, was taken to Hackensack University Hospital for treatment before being arrested. No motive was given for the slaying. The autopsy revealed Hubbard sustained at least 29 stab wounds and 20 blunt force injuries during the attack, according to the Bergen County Medical Examiner. You know what? Jesus. During the trial, the defense psychologist testified Camilli has bipolar disorder and experienced a depersonalization episode during the crime, which impaired his control, according to the NewJersey.com report. A psychiatric expert retained by the prosecution, however, found symptoms such as depersonalization are typical in high stress situations and found no evidence of psychiatric disorder, according to the report. Committee attorney Landry Belizaire of Bloomfield did not immediately respond on Wednesday to call and text message seeking comment on the sentence. Following the conviction in October, Belizaire told New Jersey Advanced Media he believed the jury was influenced by their emotions instead of mental health testimony. You know, even if, let's say for argument's sake, even if he was correct, right? Let's say for argument's sake, even if he's correct on that, right? It still doesn't give that man a right to unalive his woman and stab her 29 times and then have 20 blunt force injuries to the body sustained during the attack. There's no excuse for that. But again, a lot of these articles I'm bringing out is just a testament to show that we as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians do not keep the laws, statutes, commandments, and now we got to face judgment because we want to please the flesh. This is why I'm bringing out what I'm bringing out. It's disgusting as humans. This is the book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 7. What shall we say then? What shall we say? Is the law sin? God forbid. You know, is being asked in the book of Romans, is the law sin or something? Is there a reason why we shouldn't be keeping these laws? God forbid. You don't want to find out what the Lord will do to you. I recommend you just start keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, because you'd be surprised how the Lord works in mysterious ways in today's society. I promise you. Nay, I had not known sin, but by the law. Meaning, if I'm keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, I don't know sin. How can I know sin if I'm keeping the law, statutes, and commandments? Period. For I had not known lust, except the law had said, thou shalt not covet. Meaning, I don't know about lusting over a brother's wife because unless the Lord taught me about it, because I'm keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. That's how that works. By keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what? I'm just a little short on time. Let me bring out this last article. And we're going to get right to it. Yes, they found a suspect in the unalivement of that CEO. You know what? I'm not even going to. You know what? I'll change my mind. I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to save that article for Boots on the Ground for the simple fact that's white on white crime. That doesn't apply to my class. It doesn't apply to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. At that article. Back to these scriptures, right? We as Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, we have to learn to keep these law, statutes, and commandments and follow them, do them, live them in order to receive the love, the mercy, the grace, and the service of the Most High. Period. There's no getting around it. There's no pigeonholing. There's no gray area. We as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians just got to do. We just got to do. It's the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. Because if you're sinning, you're transgressing against the law by not keeping the law because you're sinning. That's how that works. For sin is the transgression of the law. The sin itself is you transgressing against the law. If the Bible says do not eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, and you sitting there frying shrimp, sucking down a pork chop sandwich, you're transgressing against the law. You understand? If you're out here running around making hordes of our sisters because you don't know how to keep it in your pants and have a little discipline and self-control, you're transgressing against the law. That's how that works. Period. I have a couple more precepts, but I am short on time. Listen, Israel, I need y'all to understand something. Without these laws, statutes, and commandments, we are nothing. We are nothing without these laws, statutes, and commandments. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing that we can say. There's nothing without the Lord. We must learn to put the Lord first and then us, and everything and everybody else take an effing number. Period. That's where I'm at. God first, then me. Anybody else take a number. Because I ain't got time. I ain't got time for games. I ain't got time to be pussyfooting around. I ain't got time to be playing games with nobody out here in the world, period. You understand? Keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Pay your tithes. Pay your tithes. Pay your tithes. We got the Passover coming up soon. You know what I'm saying? We got to start preparing for that early. Time's flying. We're about to be in January already. Pay your tithes, Israel. Keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Don't stop signing into these classes. Learn who you are and learn how to serve your God. That's my time, Israel. Shalom.